Good morning, everyone. It's Tractor Man 44 here, but I'm over at my much older brother's house. We're loading up his 1937 Massey Harris Challenger we were working on in the earlier video. And here's the second generation homemade wood splitter. I could not remember when he built that, but he actually built this in 1992 or 1993. So it's still 27 or 28 years old, even though it's his new and second generation splitter. When I say second generation, the one that I run and operate, the one I traded him for, he built in 1978, so it's 41, 42 years old or thereabouts. And then I traded him some parts that I had accumulated to build my own, and an old tractor, even for that old yellow one, because he was going to take it and cut it apart and then use those parts to redesign and build a better one. And so I talked him into making that trade and then going ahead and building his with newer components and everything, newer scrap components. In keeping with my channel's message, so to speak, if there is a message, we do everything we can as cheaply as we can, you know, to sustain ourselves without going into debt, whatever. So we build, consequently, most everything that we build is made out of salvage material. So what we're doing here, this old tractor's been sitting for so long, it has not been under load, has not been worked very long at all. So what my brother's doing is he's pulling that tractor down, putting a heavy load on it by bringing it real close to the relief valve setting on that control valve. And you can hear the tractor really pulling down. This thing needs to have a little bit of work under its belt, you know, kind of loosened up a little bit. It's been a long time coming. So that's what he's doing. So it's good for the tractor. You got to burn some of the carbon out of it and everything. That's some old 36 Chevrolet dump bed we're going to toss into, because I'm going to throw it on the ground and have to pick it back up again. And he's just sitting there ready for me to come on over. He's working there warming the hydraulics up. So apparently he's ready to go now. So he's quit running the cylinder back and forth. So we're going to give her a go. Now, this whole video, I'm going to go ahead and let all the splitting play in real time. There's going to be no fast forwarding. So what you're going to see coming up now is just essentially 15 minutes of unadulterated regular speed wood splitting, so that you can see how hard we really are not working. If you're slow and methodical, is what always wins the race. You don't have to kill yourself, but it does take a little bit of effort to split wood with this style of machine. Don't let anybody kill you. It's not necessarily all fun and games, but you know, it is what you make out of it. We try to have a good time no matter what it is that we do. So yeah, enjoy. It's going to be another 14 and a half minutes of split. what happened there. Nobody told me that the screen goes blank on an iPhone. You know, you gotta somehow or another change the setting in there to make it stay lit up for you. You know, but somewhere around 5 minutes or so, this thing just went blank. Now it's still recording the time frame. It's just not shown on the display. And as luck would have it, I stopped here to get a different angle on the splitter. And so somewhere around 11 minutes or so, you'll see me walk over and I'll push the button and it'll come back to life. And it's going to be somewhere, if I remember right, around 11 minutes. But lucky I did that, or hell, I'd have done this whole video without the doggone thing recording the time frame. Now, what we're supposed to do is to have 50 rounds lined up, all of them with a certain diameter. And we were supposed to split all 50 rounds 2 times. So that's what the parameters were within the demonstration. So it's not really a speed demonstration or anything. It's just we're trying to get a rough idea of how long a time it takes to split 15 rounds for the different types of wood splinters that are being used in the demonstration. Obviously, you can tell it's quite a smooth machine. He's got a 12-inch heavy flanged or a heavy-duty H-beam that weighs 84 pounds to the foot, and he's got a 28 or a 30 gallon per minute single-stage pump with a 5 3/4 inch bore on the cylinder, and he's got the relief valve set at 2,800 psi. So we can calculate that out pretty easily and tell you how many tons. I don't know right off the top of my head. But at any rate, you can see that it does a pretty good job. And so the old tractor never missed a lick. Neither did the much older brother. He never missed a lick either. We give him a hard job today, man. He had to work out. He did all splitting. You know, I was just almost a bystander. So at any rate, we got to load this up, take that back to his place and unload it. And thank y'all for tuning in. I guess I better clarify. That was 15 minutes and 21.12 seconds. Minus just a little bit, you know. But that doesn't matter. I had to relocate the camera, so I shut it off while I relocated the camera. And I had to re-enter my password on the silly phone. So, but at any rate, it was still 15 minutes and 21 seconds for the 50 pieces. Well, we're back over at his shop, and we're offloading the tractor. We just took all the chains and binders off of it. I brought 2 of my ramps over too to tie in with his 3, so we've got a full complement of 5 ramps across the back end to compensate for the narrow track of the wood splitter, and then also the triple track of the tricycle tractor. Safety first, man. Safety first. Especially when it comes to machinery, because machinery is unforgiving. Now you can obviously see it's still basically the same design as the one originally built for me back in 1978, but you can see the improvements, the much better improvements. Like for instance, he's got the 4-inch H-beam for axle and everything, you know. That's going to be much stronger than the 3-inch pipe, 3.5-inch pipe, whatever. And of course the 12-inch H-beam, that's 84 pounds per foot. There's no bending, no deflection, there's no problem at all with that, no matter how many GPM and how much pressure you put on it. There's just no comparison to this. But again, I still refer to it as a second generation, but it's not like the splitters of today. You know, the splitters of today with the multiple wedges and things like that, they are really amazing. And the way that the splitters work now with the automatic height adjustment, you know, or height adjustment via hydraulic ram, an additional cylinder, is just absolutely incredible. You know, we're too old, we're not going to do anything that fancy, you know, I don't think. But this thing is definitely the power to push through just about anything that we put on it. I don't think it's quite as fast as what mine is as far as speed, but that has to do with the fact that he's got a 5 3/4 inch bore on that cylinder, and he's got essentially the same gallons per minute, but it has to fill that larger area, so the speed at which the ram is going to move is somewhat slower than that little 4-inch bore cylinder that I've got. You put the same amount of oil per minute under a given pressure into 2 different sizes of cylinders, the smaller one's going to fill faster. However, he develops much more power on his ram. Now Roger from Tractor Tech asked us to say some specific things about the splitter, what makes it a little bit different. or about our whatever it is that we're doing, what makes it stand out or what makes it a little bit different. And the only thing I'm bringing to the table is a improved version of the same splitter, much smoother in operation, no doubt. And I brought along a much older tractor. That's a 1937 Massey Harris Challenger. And I brought along from my helper, that was another thing that we were supposed to have, I brought along my brother, which is 12 years older than I am. As a matter of fact, he just turned 81 last week, I think it was. And then I'll hit the big 7-0 my next time around, you know, if I make it that long. I can't say enough good about the much older brother, because he's the one that has spearheaded these are his brainchilds. He's the one that comes up with the design, and he's the one that comes up with all the engineering, you know, to figure this stuff out. I do my own thing, but it's on a different scale, on different types of things. Yeah, well, like I say, he's a man of few words, you know. He doesn't necessarily have anything to say in particular, except he likes to poke fun at me whenever he can, and so that's why I kind of poke fun at him a little bit. He insisted on getting the company shirt logo on there and his hat, you know, where he just retired from. My son works there, his son works there. We know almost everybody works there. Well, you know, within reason. But at any rate, he's got like I say, he's got about a 60-year pin with Operating Engineers Local 513 here in St. Louis, and I ain't nothing but an old pipe fitter, you know, and a serviceman on top of that. So between the two of us, we do halfway decently. I think he does a little bit better job than what I do. And like I said before, the special thing that we bring to the table on this episode of Splitter Wars is ourselves as the geriatric gentlemen of the Splitter Wars cruise. So that having been said, this is Tractorman 44 and his much older brother, and we are out of here.
This here is just another junkyard fugitive that we have built out of the junk pile. Thank you.
You know, I was going to let that be the end of the video, and I thought, well, what the heck, I got to go ahead and move this dump trailer over and dump it there at the woodshed. So I thought, well, we just go ahead and tag this on right at the tail end of it. Now, this is nowhere near load. It's a pretty good little jag, but it's nowhere near load. We usually put a pretty good pile on there. But we'll let that little old tractor take it on over there, and we'll dump it. And then I'll go about the business of stacking. So Splitter Wars is definitely over, but this here's just a little addendum. Follow me. This should bring to a close the sequel to Splitter Wars 2020, but this is the extended version. Like I said, I put the standard version, edited it down to where it was primarily splitting wood and everything, you know, for the Splitter Wars. And so this here is the uncut version, essentially, much longer, but I really wanted to get some coverage of my much older brother, you know, and the tractor and the wood splitter. I wanted to include a lot of that, the effort that he had to go through in order to help me out. We had to load that tractor up and everything, you know, and haul it down here on his gooseneck, and of course haul it back and put it all back in the shed and everything, you know. So that was somewhat of an ordeal. From start to finish, it literally took us 3.5 hours for 15 minutes of splitting. But you know what? If it benefits some people, if they're thinking about building one, they can kind of look at some of the designs. Is this the design for everyone? No, not at all. This is a design that definitely is labor intensive. You don't build this one here and expect to not have to work, because it definitely takes some effort in order to make it work. There are many other styles that you could build, you know, similar to commercial designs that would be a lot less labor intensive. But again, the reason behind my channel is pretty much self-sufficiency, living as cheaply as you can and as conservative as you can, spend the least amount of money, but yet building something that's going to benefit you. That's the whole premise behind my channel. And my much older brother, he's the same way. What he called that, he said a junkyard refugee, I guess I think is what he said. I have to go back and see what he said. But he's the same way. Almost everything we build, greatest percentage is used parts and pieces, just straight out of the job site dumpsters, or from our other friends that are mechanics or are in the different trades that have excesses of material that's going to go into trash hoppers, and that's what we build our stuff out of. And like I said, this was a fun time. Really enjoyed working with my brother there. Like I said, he just turned 81 last week or so, and he gets in there and gets it pretty doggone good. Ain't no doubt about it. So I hope I'm doing as much as what he is whenever I'm his age, you know. But he's so much older than I am, it's going to take me a while to get there, you know. And like I said before, if I make it. But anyway, hey, enough of that baloney. This is the end of the extended version. And this is Tractor Man 44. I got some wood to stack. I am out of here.